Hello, citizens of Cantagree. I come to you today, here, on 1101 APH, not to bring you the news, and not supported, as is usual, by our local historical society. But instead I come to you today to talk about a problem. For the better part of 2 months, things have been going missing. First, a yellow dog who is friendly towards strangers, and then objects from around town and the homes of citizens. Things easily considered misplaced, only never to be found. And now, citizens, we look to each other and we realize there is a time in every town's life when you look at your neighbors and you wonder, can I trust you? And if I can't, why? This is not an official broadcast. This is the efforts of a radio host who wants to get to the bottom of a mystery. Too long have things been going missing, and only after the efforts of the scavenger hunt have we begun to scrape the surface of what is truly happening in this town. To the responsible parties, this is your last chance. Return the items you have taken before a real scavenger hunt begins, where we hunt not for items, but for answers. Who are you? Where do you live? Where have you hidden your stolen prizes? Why did you do it? And will you ever be able to look your neighbors in the eye again if you have to answer these questions? I'm narrowing a list of suspects, something I would have expected the authorities to have handled, but apparently petty theft is a low priority. Understandable. They have jobs to do keeping us safe from bigger dangers. Like drivers who don't use turn signals. You know who you are. Right. So anyway, since it's currently out of their hands, I am working on some investigative journalism. Or at least I think that's what it's called when you get together a group of trusted individuals and hunt down nefarious ne'er-do-wells in an effort to bring them to justice and reclaim their stolen goods. So I have put together a scrappy band of skilled individuals in order to bring an end to this rampage of petty theft. First is Miss Key Winters, sports star for the local high school team, the Cantagree Disagreeables, and now locally renowned musical playwright, isn't one to get into trouble. As such, she will be our first lead on where we might find some rule breakers by checking all the places she would never go. It's not a big town, and the local sports star is welcome almost everywhere, so it narrows it down more than you would expect. She is using this experience both for community service hours and as material for a new stage play she is working on. She is calling You Only Miss It When It's Gone, A Taste of Yellow, but is first to admit that it is still a working title. Aiding in the hunt is Miss Tara Knotts, the waitress at Gracie's Spoon and conflict resolution specialist. She knows everyone in town and always seems to know what it takes to resolve a bad situation, even if her methods seem unorthodox. She was the first to realize the link between all of the thefts and begin to organize recovery efforts. She will be our lead investigator as she leverages every connection she has to help track down the individual, or individuals, as she suspects, behind these acts. Next is Mr. Augustine Potts, our local handyman who has an odd talent of taking apart objects and reassembling them to find new functions in the sum of their parts. I don't actually know that much about Augustine, even though we've lived on the same block for years. But I do know that he is a quiet man who likes to make broken things work and who doesn't like anyone who pries into his personal business. Also, he says he can fix locks if needed. Well, I guess technically he said, "A lock won't keep me out," and then he pantomimed an action I assumed was picking the lock, but might have been dismantling the door. I don't know much about lockpicking, and he isn't as good at miming as Mr. Telsky, so it's up for interpretation. Additionally, we have Miss Shelby Madison, a survivalist who lives in a lovely cave complex on the edge of town, and always carries a fully loaded survival bag when she's out and about. I'm almost ready to believe it's magic, because she always seems to be able to pull out whatever she needs with a little rummaging. I once saw her join a table at the Tomaine Tea Room and pull a cup and saucer from her bag, which matched the ones at the table. Who would know to plan ahead like that? She would, which is why she and her newly adopted cat Muffin are on the team. And finally, myself, Rizdon Mitchell, radio host turned investigative journalist, ready to chase down the story and find the answers we have all been waiting for. My skills include narration, amateur weather forecasting, being recognized by my voice by locals, bird whispering, and having keys to get into the radio station to bring you this story. Now that you know what is at stake, namely hundreds of yellow objects, and you know who is on the case, I hope you can rest easy, fellow citizens, as we work to track down your stolen items. We will be starting on the north side of town in the old derelict schoolhouse on the Johnson property, and we'll spread our search from there. If you have any clues, feel free to come find me in the field. Otherwise, citizens, I hope to be back with news for you soon. Actually, while I'm already here, I should probably actually deliver at least a little of the regular broadcast. So, without further ado, and with this segment actually funded by our local historical society, I bring you the abbreviated weekly news. Monday. Keep a lookout for all those junior entomologists who will be running around town and messing around with all sorts of bugs. As far as I'm concerned, they are welcome to take as many as they want. Away from me. And this radio station. Seriously, those things gross me out. Tuesday is the pumpkin carving contest. This year they are looking for the jack-o'-lanterns with the best renditions of someone and of something recognizable from around town. So if you think you have what it takes to use a knife to render visually appealing renditions of people and places in gored flesh, then step up and be recognized. Wednesday is only a few more days until Halloween, so if you haven't gotten a costume yet, you'd better hurry, because you wouldn't want people to think you went as yourself. I mean, how embarrassing would that be? Thursday. Come by for an evening of film with Cinema in the Cemetery. We are watching a foreign film whose title roughly translates to A Scary Thing Happens, but the Duck Will Be Fine, which Mrs. Gorsh, who picked out the movie, says that the title doesn't do the film justice and recommends you see it for yourself before passing judgment. As the person who has picked all the movies out for the last 10 years, I have to say she does have impeccable taste. Friday. They are hosting a blood drive and have tried to create a theme to match the season, branding it as the Ahs and Boos blood drive. I mean, I get it's a blood type joke, but you would think that giving blood is already in the spirit of the season. On a separate note, Emerald River Traders has a sale on fake blood, and I have been told that no, it will not be accepted at the blood drive. Saturday, we'll see the tales of Cantagree told in the town hall by members of the local historical society. So, if you want a taste of the spooky side of Cantagree, come on by for some local stories and hot apple cider. Sunday is Halloween, and of course, ushers in trick-or-treating and the community costume contest. So, grab your goodie bags and spruce up those outfits to stand out from the competition. Well, this has been your host, Rizdon Mitchell, and this has been your abbreviated news. I look forward to seeing you and speaking with you soon.